And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. Hey, we're in the sports bar where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. After we come out of the sports bar, we're in case you missed it, and we have a special tribute to grandmothers in our final thoughts. So we were talking about what is it? Shady
McCoy.
Shady McCoy.
Yeah.
What's her real name? LaShawn Shady McCoy, who came to what show, Kyra?
I think we were in Hollywood, Florida, and he was in the show and laughing and came by and said,
not aggressive at all.
Not a man. Great smile. Real nice guy.
You know, I meet a lot of athletes at my shows. Right. Absolutely. Right. So we
listen, that'll drive LaShawn or OJ crazy.
Right. Ooh.
Don't take his stuff.
Dude, the funny thing was, though, OJ went to a playoff game, or so they thought he did. He was wearing a McCoy jersey.
Oh, my God. Hey, anyway, speaking of OJ, Alan Dershowitz said he don't get invited to nothing over at Martha's Vineyard because he's defending President Trump. And he said defending President Trump is worse than defending OJ to some people.
Now, that's terrible. But that's true, though, but it's terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But in talking about the situation, I guess allegedly he's being accused of this Shady McCoy being accused of conspiring to have. First, they were going over to get stuff, and then it turns into a very bad, violent beatdown with pictures with this young lady.
And she's a beautiful girl. I mean, she's gorgeous. Really.
Yes, and to me, I guess my feeling is if you fall up, if you do something that the average person would be in jail right now,
right?
Then, especially when we allow these athletes to do it. Why is it, Courtney? First, we as women are not up in arms and not protesting, and second, why aren't we as black people mad that this is not the image that we want our athletes to have? It's a stereotypical application of the image of the black man being so violent, especially toward women. It's not a good look. Courtney, you first. As a woman, you feel what? Does your microphone come apart? Oh, see, they keep doing that to you, Courtney. They keep doing that because they don't want you talking in the sports bar.
Yeah, exactly what it is.
So foul. So foul.
Yeah.
How do you feel as a woman if this man did this? Set her up. Damn. Okay, see, Kyle.
You just leave it in there and don't touch it.
That's what he said.
How did we go that way? Boy, wait until the podcast.
Oh, my God.
Listen to me. So,
no. Oh, my God.
He's saying leave it in there, don't touch it. You don't take direction well.
Because it's too.
Have you seen the pictures, Courtney Black?
No, let me see the pictures.
They're bad. They're really bad. That's the worst part.
Oh my
Ray Rice was so bad because we saw the video. These pictures are worse than Greg Hardy's stuff. These are the worst pictures we've seen.
Yeah.
There's so many times that we just assume like, okay, it's you don't realize how bad they look, and then when you do, you're just like the reaction's gonna.
How are you still in the league?
Exactly.
And I hate that the players and the NFL makes it these players are above the law, you know. That's
or at least they give them the best legal care, Harry.
Yes, they do.
They give them the best legal care.
The best that money can buy. And that's what it is.
Because it is about the team. And also for the person that called in, you're absolutely right. I was supposed to talk about also the somewhere in there we got to talk about the league seems to be some owners of the league. When you're weighing in on political positions and you're sorry.
Yep, my bad.
It's Courtney.
Can you just wait a little bit?
I just got to get this last little bit.
Yes, I know.
It's your birthday.
I know. So
it's a birthday.
Yeah, it's birthday week. But I guess the league doesn't seem to. Well, some owners in the league, in my opinion, doesn't seem to understand that a stance on the anthem is not destroying the league. It's stuff like this that destroys the league.
I don't think so.
And when we come back, we're going to get everybody's thoughts about what is really damaging the NFL. You're listening to Cheryl Underwood Radio.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. As promised, our final thoughts is a tribute to our grandmothers. That's right. So I'm gonna shout out to both my grandmothers on my mother's side and my father's side. Grandma Violet, Grandma Geneva. I had the best grandmothers in the world because they both loved me and protected me in two different ways. And you just can't beat being able to call your grandmother on your mama and go, get her. And then when she get her, your mama said you was wrong. That's the big joke of love.
Yeah.
Go to church with my grandmothers. Had a good time hanging around my grandmother, and when my grandmother would tell me to go and get her a can of beer, I would drink half of the wheat pop. Come back all dizzy.
Wow.
There you go, Grandma.
So I'm shouting out both my grandmothers.
Wow.
Courtney Black, back with the facts. Shout out your grandma. Uh-oh, she done messed up the microphone again. If you stop touching it,
Guys, I
what's
gotta
the
bring
fixation? What's the
short.
fixation?
I'm
Okay,
tall.
wait a minute. Hold on. Jim, well, Vic.
Yeah.
Vic. Okay, your grandma.
Grandma Mary, I gotta shout her out, man. As a matter of fact, this was her favorite song.
Really?
Yes, it did. Yeah.
This song always makes me remember my grandmother as well. Makes me cry when I hear it in the car. Jim, shout out your grandma.
Artist Exchange.
The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange. Artist Exchange Live. The Artist Exchange. Artist Exchange. The Artist Exchange.
I'm Tiffany Jones, curator for Blueprint Standing Room Only, featuring artists Brianna Faulkner, Antonio McGaffey, and I. Henry Phillips Sr.
You can't ignore something yellow when it's right in front of your face. My grandmother was always in my face. You gotta slow down, yield, pay attention. Pay attention to your heart's yellow.
So for my overall perspective for the art exhibit is that through my own art, I create an experience. Whether it's through installation, photography, mixed media, I wanted to bring my art to another level to where it's opening up and inviting other artists into the space. So walking into the exhibition, you can expect to be taken to another place, and you are going to experience elements of the story to kind of set the tone and think about family dynamics and to think about things that happen in our lives and happen with our families. You will experience sound, you'll experience touch, and there's visual art, and so it's a moving piece, and we're using the space as a way to transport people. So when you experience the art show, it will be primarily through Maisha's journey returning home. And there's going to be some hints of and experiences that are kind of like flashbacks, but it's going to be through her lens and through her journey when you go through the exhibition. My personal connection to Blueprint is the ties to G Mama and how we have deep relationships with our grandmother, who are usually the matriarchs of a Black family. And once that person has transitioned, it can change the whole dynamics of a family and really give us a moment to self-reflect and how we view ourselves versus how we were when we were children, and our relationships with other people in our family. You go through the story, you go through the colors and the different experiences, whether they were past or present. And when you get to the end, just like a movie or just like a book, you're expecting this this solution. Expecting this solution, this sort of like, okay, grandma has passed, G Mama has passed, we're all gonna do X, Y, Z, but that doesn't happen. And it's more like everyone has to come to their own personal conclusion, and that's what leaves everything open for people to be able to relate to it. So I feel like the way that it's written, and it's so relatable, that however the ending is for each individual is how they're going to experience the end. They're going to make their own ending for it. Even though it kind of ends with like no solution. So it puts you in a place where you feel like kind of like a Me Too moment, where you're like, I'm not the only one that experiences it. There's also going to be workshops, and there's also going to be artist markets. So every Sunday you can come down and experience the show in addition to meeting artists.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show, here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. I'm your host, Mr. Towser. I'm here today joining you. So, first of all, oh my God, everything just went blank. So, first of all, if you want to be a guest or be featured on the Artist Exchange Radio Show or any of the shows on Be Exposed Radio, hit us up, info@BeExposedRadio.com, or you can hit me up directly at the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. Also, we're looking for sponsors, people to advertise. If you want us to help you with your promotion, advertisement of your upcoming events, your products, your brands, your services, or if you just want to promote yourself, or just donate. If you want to donate, we take donations as well. Hit me up at the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com, and we have some great rates and packages to help you promote your radio show. You saw. If you watch the commercials, you'll see the video ad plan. So there's an image that you can send us, or you can do a live commercial. If you have a commercial already done, you can definitely hit us up and send it to us MP3 format. If you go to our website, www.beexposedradio.com, we have a new feature where you can send us your music. Send us an MP3 format. Let us know a little bit about yourself. You can send that to info@beexposedradio.com. Make sure your music is ready to be played, how you want people to listen to it. And we do a charting system every week, and it's the top 5 get charted. So send your music in, all genres, all types. Just send it in, and we will gladly post it to our website. So you can go now to www.beexposedradio.com, and you'll see the music that we have up. So far, my guest is Whitney Chantel. She's actually on there. She was just here Friday, and now she's up on the chart. So hit us up, info@beexposedradio.com. Again, if you want to be featured or be a guest on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, definitely hit us up, and we're here for you. We're ready to put you on. If you're watching, please help me share out the video, the live. We're here now, our new time, the Artist Exchange's new time, on Mondays and Fridays, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. if you're looking to come on. We're right downtown, Calvert and Lexington Street, so come on, we're convenient to everywhere. We wanna hear your story, we wanna talk to you, we wanna interview you, so definitely join us. Today has been kind of crazy. I broke my glasses, so that means I had to go to the doctor's office, and because they like to make money, they like to give you a whole other exam. So I had to take an exam, so my eyes feel like crazy right now. I was waiting for my pupils to dilate, and so the sunlight, this bright light, does not like kill me on my eyes. So my new glasses are on their way. Also, we have a number of things that we're doing this summer. One, I am working with the Pill Center that will be our newest sponsor for the Artist Exchange Radio Show, and we'll be working with them. And I started what is now called the Makers Market. So if you are an artist and you want to come and have a space to sell your work, the hours are 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. So come on out and join us, and we'll gladly have you. Artists, as long as you make your work, we're not looking for like used stuff and stuff like that. But if you make your work or you have your own business, definitely come on down and sell your work. On Sundays, we have the Farmers Market, the Baltimore Farmers Market that's downtown, Bazaar and Farmers Market. So we'll get the same traffic that they're getting. We're right on the same street as the Farmers Market. So come on down, 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. At the Pill Center at 225 Holiday Street, right across from the Woman Memorial Building. The Woman Memorial Building, that's it. I think that's the name of it. The way you go pay your water bill and your tickets and stuff like that. So come on down. There's a small fee that you can use if you go to Pill Marketplace, www.bit.ly/Pill Makers Market. You'll be able to sign the fill out the registration form, and you can get a slot and come on down. The clip that you was just watching was the last show that I actually had at the Pill Center, and we're turning Bootprints the play into an actual movie. So I'm still looking for a filmmaker. We have been actually auditioning and interviewing possible filmmakers. So if you are a filmmaker or you know a filmmaker, tell them, send me a call at 443-839-0118, or you can email us at bootprintsthemovie@gmail.com. Right now, you can go to our Facebook page or our Instagram page, as well as our Twitter page at Bootprints the Movie, and find us. On Instagram is Bootprints_the_movie, and see where we are, see all the various clips. You can watch this kind of progression that we're having from the very start, this being a 10th year anniversary, so 10 years ago up until the present. You see a lot of old photos, new things that we're doing, and you actually get to see a lot of the film. If you go to Bootprints the Movie on our Facebook page, our fan page on Facebook, you'll be able to see the live reading of the actual play. Also, we have a live on there where we did the reading twice, so you see 2 different performances done. Also, you get to see the installation, the art installation portion of it, where we were able to actually build an actual immersive art show surrounding the themes of the actual movie. But we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. Hey, we're in the entertainment blocks of our show, and I guess because I'm an entertainer, and y'all seem to be making me comfortable enough to talk about my personal life.
Yeah.
Then we were talking about Jada Pinkett said she was addicted to sexual stimulation. Mm-hmm. So it's intercourse that she's addicted to.
The intercourse and the self-stimulation.
Okay, so see, that's what I was trying to figure out. Now, you can be addicted to that, because I don't feel I get a good night's sleep until
Till you release one.
Till I've had a relationship with myself.
Oh, really?
Right.
There you go. Got excited.
Right.
Ears.
Harry stood up. What's going on over there?
We can't say that on the air, can we?
But also, with the way we said it, I think it was pretty good. I think it was pretty safe. I mean, if this was spiritual nourishment, well, we are going to talk about it in spiritual nourishment.
Are we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. But this was the thing, though, not being addicted to it, but I guess the feeling is also the thing that stops me from engaging another person out of wedlock. That was my fear. My fear was, because you got to, Courtney, we can't be all up in the dude face and then be, I'm saving myself. Well, you could have saved yourself at the house and not ate my food and drank my liquor while you saving yourself.
Now you talking now, you preaching.
That's right, Harry Sutherland. Hey, don't you hate Harry? I ate up all the food, licking the fingers.
I want to know ahead of time.
Oh, I tell you before I even get in the car.
Because I don't even want you expecting anything.
Not unexpected. I didn't wear the outfit to do that.
Hey,
I don't have the matching.
Now y'all got to understand, if you don't expect it now, you may not go out on that date.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm standing in the driveway with my nice outfit on. That's why I say it in my show. Yeah, with my nice outfit on, because you done pulled off. I don't get to go nowhere. So it led to a story about Jada Pinkett has this great talk show, Red Table talk show. Her mother, she determines that her mother is addicted to heroin. I'm talking about throwing away a pound of weed, and somebody called in and say a full pound, no seed, no stem. Yes, threw it away. My grandmother saved me. Well, the second time my grandmother saved me was my younger sister was getting on my nerves, and she kept talking about her daddy. My daddy is this man in the Air Force, and my daddy, and look how my daddy looking. Your daddy don't do nothing for you, and your daddy not around, and your daddy. And I told her, get out my face, because I don't want to hurt your feelings. And I think I was about maybe 11. I think I had to be about 15, maybe 15, 16 years old. And yo daddy, and I said, that ain't your daddy.
I knew he was gonna tell the truth about the daddy.
Daddy is a shade tree mechanic.
He's still here down
on Roosevelt Street.
Listen to me,
under that truck.
I named it. Oops. I named the street.
Hilarious.
I said that's a dude that brought us up our show. Your daddy. And then look at your birth certificate. That's two names put together. About to get me a whooping.
Okay.
I called in reinforcements. My grandma said she did not lie. She did not lie, so you can't whoop her.
Your grandma's strong. I love your grandma. Love grandma.
You must have been her favorite
grandma's
too.
Strong.
That's right.
Grandma don't play.
Again. Get out my face with that foolishness. So that the moral of this story is stick by your grandma. Matter of fact, in final thoughts, we're gonna talk about how we feel about our grandmothers. So after, in case you missed it, when we do our final thoughts,
Bill Withers too.
That's right. It's a tribute to all grandmas out there. So our phone lines are open 1-855-SHORT-1 if you want to shout out your grandma.
This just became the grandma show.
That's right. And that's how we do it on Shell Letterman Radio. Hey, it's time to go into the sports bar where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop.
Sure is.
All right, we'll be right back after this break.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. In case you missed it, we seem to be having a really good conversation. When I say seem to be, is what happens on our show. We may talk about something.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Do what? Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. So today, our topic is, first of all, we're having a guest. His name is Victor. He'll be here in the second hour. But today's topic is a comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. And we started 2 weeks ago with the list of things, how to live your best life and things to do, kind of tips to do and kind of make things better, mistakes that we make and things that we overlook and making things better. But we're gonna get into that in the second half of this first hour. One of the things that we're gonna do in the next segment is I wanted to go over the Leandra Johnson message that we had. I was on Sunset Soul Radio show yesterday, and I got into the conversation with the pastors that were there, and it kind of threw me off a little bit because we had two pastors that were in the room, and I respect them. You know, I know them. They are frequents and regulars on the Sunset Soul Radio show, guest co-host on the show, and the conversation really threw me off in that it went directly in the direction that I thought it would, and it really threw me, because like parents, parents often personalize pain that that their children are going through. So instead of focusing on what and hearing what their children are saying and going through, they often make it about them, and either denying or ignoring what is being said, and their inability to actually listen and take heed to what is being said to them that totally goes out of the window. And it really threw me off having a conversation with them, because it really showed me how churches feel, how the leadership in the church feels when something like what has happened to Leandra happens. Leandra, that's not the first time she had a outburst in that manner, but it's definitely the most pointed and the most directed conversation. And supposedly she was in the dressing room before a show or sometime at a show, and Pastor Marvin Winans walked past her. Now, I don't think she proclaims to be a personal friend of his or even like somebody connected to him, but the fact that this man is somebody that she looked at, somebody that she was inspired by in terms of him and his family's legacy in the gospel music industry, somebody that she looked at, somebody that she admired, that she kind of looked up to, he disappointed her in a way that I don't think she was able to deal with it. And it's very apparent that she already has issues with abandonment and just being able to be whole on her own. So he did not speak to her, and he walked right past her. Leandra is known for being, has a reputation, I would say, for being a little edgier. There's been clips put out on her where like she's flashing, or she's smoking, or she's drinking, or she's using profanity in an open space, and because we know everybody does that, but who shows it? But so a lot of the people in the industry have really backed off from her, and I think recently it's been more so. Her ex-husband has went on this tirade in terms of like putting her out there and really exposing who she supposedly really is in terms of her behavior and her attitude as a gospel artist, as a pastor, so on and so, a minister, I'll say. But I was just in. Next segment, I'm gonna let you listen to the clip if you haven't heard it, and then kind of give a little bit of feedback after that. But my reaction to yesterday's show, and I take things, I don't take anything personal, but Love Dawn topic was being church hurt. It was church hurt, hashtag church hurt. And it was something that, so this week I'm gonna actually put that out as just a question on our social media platform. And have you ever experienced that? If so, what has it been? And she recounted going online and seeing the hashtag church hurt and seeing all of the responses to it. Now, it was done in a comical way, but a lot of that probably was rooted in some type of truth. And her response was became her topic. So sitting in here in the conversation with all of them growing up in church and being like church goers, and myself, I go to church, but I have a really strained relationship with the body of church in terms of not the building but the individuals. And one of the things that happened to me, which happens to a lot of people, you go to church thinking that everybody, that everybody is good, not realizing that from the top to the bottom of that totem pole, everybody is broken. And you go there thinking that you're going to get these open arms, instead you get a lot of pointing fingers and judgmental slurs that are thrown at you based on who people think you are and who they don't realize who they are. But we're going to take another quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show with more on this conversation. So don't go anywhere.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. In case you missed it, Jada Pinkett said did she say she was addicted to sex, or because she got this red table,
the red table,
and what they got about 3 million people watching and viewing this.
It's almost like a podcast.
Yeah. It's a visual podcast. Is that what it is?
Very close.
So let me ask y'all a question. Would you say that podcasts are different from apps?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So podcast is the new trend now.
Yes.
Yeah, apps are kind of like the new websites, but on your phone.
Exactly.
Really?
That's what it is.
So that's really what it should be?
Yeah.
That's why
I'm glad y'all said that.
Nah, I understand now.
Okay, me too, Eric.
That's
what are y'all talking about? Okay.
That's the best
way. Everything for you, it should be your website.
Yeah. But it's a portable website.
Right.
Yes.
For your phone.
Because we're always on our phone.
Basically, people could get, if they click on Cheryl's face, you can
that didn't sound good. That still doesn't sound better when you said it twice. What? I know he's supposed to be talking about Jada Pinkett.
Twice don't make it nice.
I know. It's like, you did that on purpose.
They can get everything Cheryl by that.
Well, really?
That didn't sound better either.
Everything.
Tour dates.
Okay.
Products.
So I should just take the website I have now and put it on the app.
You should.
Yeah, you'll keep it and then they'll work together.
Okay. And that's easier and don't cost me no more money, right?
I don't know about that.
So.
Now,
yeah.
Talk to Harry.
Talk
to Harry.
Well, I guess the reason I'm asking is because Jada has this talk show, Red Table. Yeah. She interviewed Tiffany Haddish on there. She's had her own children on there. Her mom.
Her sister wife on there.
Will's ex-wife.
Yeah, Cherie. Is that a Cherie? Yeah, that's the way he said it, Jim. Jim, we figured it out. Right. So Jada says, is she addicted to stimulation, Courtney, or is she addicted to the sex itself?
She says she has an addictive personality.
Yes,
because her mother did. Her mother was allegedly addicted to, and I don't think it's but her mother was addicted to heroin.
Yes,
and she had talked about the fact that her mother would just nod off or be late for stuff, and she thought it would that ain't just sleepiness,
right?
That's a drug addiction, right? But for me, I will tell you this: since this whole show started with me talking about my feelings, it is one of the reasons why I don't smoke tree. Because my dad always said, you drink liquor all day long. We from Arkansas. You drink liquor all day long. And you got to put it down if you can't go to work, can't go to church, can't function in life. But what you can't do is do any kind of drug, including marijuana. No marijuana. So one time I was cleaning out my mom's dressers. You know, you do the laundry, you put the clothes in there. You know, so I saw this pound back when a pound was a pound. Harry Sutherland, no seed, no stem.
A real pound. Okay,
that's right. The only thing I thought was, my daddy said, no marijuana.
Hey, word.
And I flushed it down the toilet.
A pound?
A pound?
Oh.
I was shaking it down in the toilet like Dragnet and Hawaii Five-O.
Dragnet.
Then I just flushed it down there, and my mom was really mad.
I'm sure she was.
And but she thought she was gonna whoop somebody, and we were living in Omaha, Nebraska at that time, and I knew my grandmother's phone number by heart, and my grandmother lived less than a block away, and I hit that phone.
You still know the number?
Yep. Ready?
Yeah.
453-7987.
Hey.
Mine was 566-1097.
That's right, and I hit that number.
That's your prison number.
That's my grandmother's phone number.
I'm talking about grandma.
My grandmother's phone number. I hit that number.
That's grandma's number.
I'll give you my grandma's number. She still has it.
That's it. Everybody be calling your grandma. I hit that number. My grandmother came up that alley and said, you can't whoop her because you shouldn't have had it in the house.
Okay.
And I was like, that's right.
That's my grandma.
Yo mama said you was
Your
wrong.
mama, your pothead.
You're right.
Yo mama said you was wrong. Again.
Yo, pothead.
How old were you, Cheryl?
Did. Oh, I had to be like 7, 8 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
I don't care whose spiritual father he is. He could have been mine, but no, he wanted to go past me like I was something, like I was a peasant. Walk right past me like I was a peasant. Really? Really? You gonna walk past me? Really? And you ain't even know. I'm a product of you, but it's all good though. Now you know. Now you know though. Now you know. I tell you like this. I know what I have. I know what I have, and I know who I am. I tell you that. And I'm going to tell you like this right here. On some real nigga shit. Now y'all go spread that. Y'all gonna make that viral. Love, peace, and happiness to those who know the truth and who tired of this Christianity bullshit.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. Hey, we usually do 60 Seconds from the Hill news. You can use word on the street, and that ripping sound you hear is Courtney Black celebrating her belated birthday week by opening my eBay. And for the people who beep it out. I said it. So, but we usually do 60 Seconds from the Hill news. You can use word on the street with our favorite country lawyer, better known as Judge Harry Sutherland. So what we're going to do with that is the top of the week we'll do a what happened last week, because isn't the president out of the country?
Oh yeah,
he's at the NATO and making people mad and everything.
Oh, he's making people mad.
Yeah, making people
Oh my goodness, I can't believe it.
We're gonna talk about it at the top of the week. We'll talk about the top of the week, and also Harry Sutherland going to give us some updates on what's going on in politics. But right now, this is break what, super producer?
Number 3.
Okay, so what were we supposed to talk about? Okay, I'm supposed to end the discussion about the crush and why I don't believe he would go to the company field trip. with us because the person he trusts does not like the location, because I know the person he trusts. And I asked the person, I said, why don't y'all come out and kick it with us? And they was like, and the person I was talking to, I was shocked that this person was even talking to me. And I was like, so, you know, what's up? Why don't y'all come kick it with us? You know, because remember, we were all in a location. We were all in a location, and I was shocked that this person was talking to me. It must be delicious.
So delicious.
Yeah, right. So then,
it's birthday water.
And so then, when I mentioned the location, he was like, "Nah, I like this location." I said, "Wow, I ain't never been there, but I'm willing to chop it up." My question to my team is, and the reason I got to be vague is because this person is very, very public. If we went to the company field trip with them, I don't think they would be so cool with it, because they would see how we get down, and we macaronis,
and we know how they get down.
Right? And are they us? They not us.
Do we mesh?
Right? They. I don't think they us.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
What's up? Y'all back on here? Y'all back on here? Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna go viral. It's gonna go viral because it seems like I lost my mind. No, I ain't lose my mind. I didn't lose my mind. I didn't lose my mind. No. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Pastor Tim Rogers, that's my pastor. There, I said it. I agree with him. I said it. I said it. I said it. Pastor Tim Rogers is my pastor. I said it. I said it. So let's go. Let the conversation begin. And let this be known. Everybody, every gospel artist that I mentioned Kirk Franklin, I mentioned Tasha Cobbs, I mentioned all them. I have no hate with them. I have no hate with them. I love them. I love Kirk Franklin, Tasha Cobbs. I love all the gospel artists. I love them all. But you know what? You know what separates me from Tasha Cobbs, Kirk Franklin, all the gospel artists? You know what separates me from them? I put all my shit on Front Street. That's what separates me from them. I love them. But what separates me from them, you know, the reason why the gospel community don't want to accept me and don't want me? Because I'm me. But I love them. I love them. I love them. But guess what? I'm going to be me, and I'm going to always be me. Guess what? I'm going to always be me. And if my record label decides right now to drop me, I'm good. Because I'm going to always be me. I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to hide. Not saying that they hiding. Not saying that they hiding anything. They ain't hiding nothing. I'm talking about me. And everybody, y'all get up in here and y'all can be religious if you want to. And say, oh, the devil done got her mind, or she done got this. No, it ain't nothing like that. I'm just tired. I'm tired. I am tired. I promise you, I'm tired. I have reached my limit. I'm done. I am so done. I'm done. Nah. You want to see me as the perfect Leandria. And you want to see me come up in here in church and saying this and saying that and da 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 da. Like I ain't got no life? No, I got a life. No, I got a life. I am who I am, and I will always be who I am. Period. So y'all got questions? Come on. Come on. What your question? I'm not an individual that's gonna sit in church and be in the pews and then watch the deaconesses or the deacons or the archbishops and all of them. No. I'm not finna sit here and I'm not finna do it. I'm not finna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So what's up? Y'all got questions? Come on. What's up? Everybody want to quote scriptures and this, that, and the other. Y'all want to quote scriptures like y'all ain't got no life? Come on now. We ain't dumb. We ain't dumb. Let's not be dumb. Let's not be, please, let's not be dumb. Please, let's not be dumb. Please, let's not be dumb. And for those of y'all that's watching me and that got my number, please stop calling me, because I'm going to hit the reject button. Please stop calling me. And no. For y'all that's saying keep her lifted, no, don't keep you lifted. You keep being lifted. You be lifted. Don't say please keep her lifted. No, you be lifted. Cause I'm done. I am so done. I am so done. I swear to God, I'm so done. Yeah, I'm waiting for your questions. Let's go. What's up? And who is this? What's up? It's so much going on in this world. It's so much going on in this world. It's so much going on in this world. It's so much going on in this world, period. The world, not the Christianity, not the Christian community, the world. And all y'all can think about is what the hell I'm doing? Yeah, okay then. All right then. All right then. What's up? No, what's up? No, let's talk. Please, let's talk. And y'all on here, y'all making jokes and stuff, talking about fried chicken, and I need some fried chicken. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you something. While y'all right here trying to check me, y'all need to be trying here to find out what y'all pastors doing. Real nigga shit. And everybody wanna be like, don't say that, because of that. Man, let me tell you something. If you wanna stop me from coming into your church, what does that say about you as a Christian? What does that say about you as a pastor or a bishop or an apostle, whatever the hell you are? What does that say about you? So you gonna count me out because I said a few cuss words? You gonna count me out? That's what you gonna do? You and all your followers. That's what you gonna do? If that's what you gonna do, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. Because I already know. You want to blackball me? Let me tell you something. I ain't got to step foot in your church. I ain't got to step foot in your church. You might as well add me onto the roster with Tim Rogers. You might as well add me onto the roster. You might as well add me onto the roster. Period. Love and compassion have I drawn thee. And guess what? You ain't got compassion on your brothers and your sister, and you keeping them from out of there. What? You ain't got, nah. No.
Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. That was Leandra Johnson. We'll talk a little bit more about that after we come back from this next commercial break. Don't go anywhere. The Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. Hey, usually we do 6 seconds for the Hill News. You can use word on the street, but somehow my team convinced me to talk about my personal relationships. Don't forget, we got The World According to Cheryl, the podcast of Cheryl Underwood Radio. That's available now. Yeah. Check it out. How do you find it? iTunes.
Yeah.
Put in Cheryl.
And then what about if you got an Android or something?
Yeah, you have an app on there. Yeah. Built in there. Just search Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Your app store. I think it's Google Store, App Store.
And it's The World According to Cheryl, the podcast of Cheryl Underwood Radio. My team will be sending out social media alerts to let you know to check it out. We try to put stuff up every day. So we and the reason that there's not a lot of them is because we just finished the update of the structure of the podcast. So it's going to be here. So you'll be able to listen to the podcast of Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Yes,
called
subscribe. So
you got to subscribe. And then give me some stars and some ratings.
That's right.
And tell me what you feel. And tell me what you feel, and you will hear a lot of stuff. Matter of fact, I think, super producer, aren't we attempting to test the edits of things that we are talking about through the break?
Yes, we are.
Okay. But we so profane.
We've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, we're so profane in the breaks that I'm not sure. I'm not losing my good CBS job over y'all. So right now we're talking my relationships and my personal life. But at the top of the week, Harry Sutherland will lead us through an update of all things political because our president is out of the country.
That's correct.
So he's going to give us an update of all of that top of the show at the top of the week. So right now, the question was why I don't have a man is because of the way I do business.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Okay, here's what it means. Okay, if let's say you all do radio theater for me, you and Courtney produce that, right?
Yes.
If I start asking you questions, it's almost over.
Oh no!
Unless y'all can answer the questions right. Right? Like Jim and I have a certain personality dynamic that I don't have to go through that with him because he does not want me to ask him questions.
Right.
So he already has the answer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. Yeah.
That's right.
We think a lot alike when it comes to business.
That's right. Yes. And each one of you are a part of my personality. That's why we get along so good. Harry Sutherland, country as corn, but smart as a son of a gun.
Sure is.
Kyle and Courtney, great comedians, very good ambition, producers.
Yes.
That's right.
Right. Yes. Vic Frost, solitary worker. Oh, I forgot too. I have to announce the 231st. Is it 231st and 32nd?
What?
I think somewhere it's
31.
I think we got.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey Hey, what's up, and welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show here live only on BeExposedRadio.com. So in the last segment, we heard the clip from Leandra Johnson. She was basically speaking her heart, and I think the moment that she was speaking about being hurt or not being able to get a response from Pastor Marvin Winans, I think that episode kind of was like a drop in the bucket. But I think overall her experience with church kind of came out, and a lot of the things that she's probably fighting with is coming. But I'm not here to pick her apart, but more so kind of equate that what happens in my own personal experience, not with just church, but just with, like, say, the art community, artists, the higher ups, this community in general. And I just left a meeting also with, I'm not going to say their name, but I just left a meeting, and we were kind of doing a recap of the past show that I did. For the last 2 months, I've been doing Blueprints, the movie, and project. And a lot of people from the arts community did not necessarily come to it, and her takebacks from some of the responses from people who didn't even show up, which I don't really care about it if you didn't show up, or even come see the art show or whatever it have you. And I don't feel like my art is so great that the world needs to see everything, but I know I am a great artist. I know I put a lot of detail and a lot of hard work into everything that I do, and I know my work speaks for itself. And what I do isn't just chump change. I'm not out there just trying to get ticket sales or just applause, but the work and attention to the detail and the work that I put into it in terms of the content that I put out there is awesome, phenomenal even. So I don't need a pat on the back from anybody in a community because we are rubbing elbows. And it was very interesting that someone came in at the actually right before our meeting actually even started, and she supposedly came. She said she came, and the door was shut. So you walked past the building, you saw a door shut at a time that the show was supposed to start, and you just walked past it. So you didn't come up to the door, you didn't turn the doorknob, you never showed up. And I believe she probably did go by because the door was shut at that time. But because the door was shut, maybe the show had started. But she looks like a late person to me. So the fact that she couldn't even come into the door spoke to me. And I ignored that. I've gotten that a lot in my career as an artist. But then, you know, kind of connecting my story with what Leandra said, I've gone through those moments where I was hurt by the fact that somebody who I looked up to didn't really respect the work that was inspired by the teachings that they gave me or the conversations that I've had with that person in terms of my artwork, their artwork, this art in general, and the fact that you don't see it as important. But in me having a meeting, and you know, I'm not going to say her name, but the person who I'm working with is a white lady, and having the conversation with her, it didn't hurt my feelings at all. I'm 35. I don't think much else can hurt me at this point, and knock on wood. But having a conversation with her and hearing some of the feedback that she got from people in the arts, one being as though it was a lot of white people who didn't feel like they were going to learn anything from my art show, or they felt like it was a black art show. Even in talking about the station that I'm at or the radio show that I am, they feel like it's just for black people. And the fact that people, and even in 2018, feel like this is a black station because it's owned by a black person, not because all the content is geared towards just black people, but just like a black movie is black because the director is black, not because the cast itself is black. It's a white film because the director is white. You know, that's what lends itself, and people don't know those things, so they go by, oh, those people don't represent me, so it's nothing there that I can see. And it was crazy because a number of the people who I've been going out to shows over the last 5 years, well, longer than that actually, not even with having the show, but I think people's ignorance and the lack of diversity in, say, the church community and the arts community and our culture at large, it's a problem how we relate to each other. And the segment before, I was kind of talking about the conversation that I had yesterday on the Sunset Soul radio show, and it surprised me, but it didn't at the same time, that two leaders in the church had an opinion about Leandra Johnson on issues like that where they tend to overlook or push to the side anybody that's having a problem. And I didn't get a chance yesterday to kind of share my church hurt experience, but I was going through something really heavy at a certain point in my life, and it came out at a meeting at church. And the pastor that I had, shout out to Pastor Ruth Travis, she's recently retired, but she was my pastor at the time. And she made a statement about we were having a church meeting after service, and I was okay. I was kind of in my own space at that moment, but she had something on her heart, and she said, "I feel like a couple people in this room have something to say that may not be on the agenda, but speak your heart in this moment." And out of my mouth came a question based on what I was currently going through. And it was strange because I'm not that transparent in terms of, you don't need to know my business. If you ain't writing no checks to my bills, you ain't gotta know about it. You don't need to know about it, and you're not gonna know about it. So the fact that was that heavy on me and it came out in the moment spoke a lot about what I was currently going through. And I remember getting the story out. I've never cried in front of people. I was crying and all snot and all that. And I remember the immediate response once the meeting was over, and as people come up to you, they thought I wanted them to save me. And they prefaced the conversation like, I ain't got nothing to help you, but I hope you get, and just that alone, and then how people talk about you, or how people then after that begin to talk about the outbursts that I had or the comments that I had made, and you people don't realize. And then I start seeing how people kind of pushed me out of kind of the bigger circle of things, and the conversation with that. So we'll I think we have one more segment. Actually, no, we don't. So we're gonna come back, and hopefully our guests will be here. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. In case you missed it, we seem to be having a really good conversation. When I say seem to be, is what happens on our show. We may talk about something.
Wow.
You know, we must have the cleanest studios.
I'm telling you.
Immaculate.
You know what I noticed a correlation, Cheryl?
What?
You got to watch out for them little running backs.
Is that what it is about?
Little running backs.
Well, I guess, and that's why I was saying we seem to be having this great conversation. What happens is we have topics, right? And pull together topics, but sometimes a conversation lends itself over multiple breaks, and I think this is an important conversation right now. At the top of the week, we will be doing a sports roundup. Jim Kelly's preparing those reports for us to bring us up to speed in the sports bar where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. But I guess my feeling about this discussion is it's a black man, a young black man. How old is this guy?
29. So
it seems to be also social media with the fighting. If you watch certain locations, is it World Star Hip Hop?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's where they have all the fights. You fighting at McDonald's, you fighting, and no shade against, because I look at this stuff. I look at the media takeout. And I'm shouting them out because they exist.
Right?
Is there a climate in the culture that young people? If you notice something odd when you see these fights, you don't see what happens afterwards.
That's true.
You don't see anybody go to jail.
Right.
all you see is clothes coming off and fighting. You don't see anybody lose their job, so there's no consequence to your action.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hold on 1 second. I try to do 3 things at once, but it doesn't really work. So we're back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show. It's reaching out. Are you? So yeah. So as I was saying, the experience that I had, like that first initial shock of church hurt, was my ignorance about the fact that broken people come to church. And I'm feeling like if you're in church, then you should be all together. And I didn't realize, well, at that point, I was like a few years into being a regular churchgoer, and I wasn't fixed completely. So why would I expect everybody else in the church to be? And yesterday's conversation threw me off completely. And it wasn't just about Leandra, because that was her personal story, but people in general that discredit people and push people to the side because they may be going through something, or I don't want to be attached to that. And I felt like, being a Christian, being a God-fearing person in general, you're supposed to help people. And I saw 2 pastors that clearly told me, she ain't in my flock. That ain't my responsibility. And I respect the 2 brothers that I had that were on the show yesterday, but that's what I hear from churchgoers. That's what I heard in the comments and read in the comments from people that was responding to Leandra and talking not to her, but about her on her thread or in her live, or the many people who have shared this and the people that began to talk in their threads. And it really just threw me off, and it just made me want to be even better at communicating with people and helping individuals. And you help not necessarily until it hurts, but you extend your hand, because we never know when we're going to be in that situation where we're hurt to the point where we have nobody else to talk to. And many people criticized her for going to social media to air out her grievances with Marvin Winans, and I don't believe it was necessarily about him, but he probably was like that straw, that last straw that kind of broke her, and it really said a lot. So I don't believe it was about her. So when she came back and apologized to him, I think that was in good taste to do that. But I think explanation behind it should have come with, he just represented to me. It hurt me when he did that, but he represented what I've gone through and what she's probably seen from other people. Because if you hashtag church hurt and you look that up, you'll see all of these examples of it. People like pouring their hearts out and their personal experience with being hurt. And it's in understanding that church hurt comes from a place of ignorance and not understanding that broken people go to church. So not taking what people say about you or do to you personally, because it's normally stemming from something that's going on within them. How people treat you is a reflection of how they're treating themselves, and on one side, but how they've been treated. So hurt people, and that was kind of my overall experience with that story. And I just wanted to I wanted to talk about it last week, but it wasn't, I didn't really feel like I should have. But the Artist Exchange Show is kind of a cross-section of my experiences and the experiences of many of the artists and entrepreneurs and community leaders that I do know personally, and just what I've seen as a reflection of being an artist or entrepreneur, so on and so forth. You're not exempt from going through things because you creatively know how to speak your mind, or because you own a business, or because you're working hard to help other people. It does not exempt you from going through things. And that story just threw me off. And this being in a presence of two pastors, it threw me off to then get validation that there is a problem bigger than just a Leandra Johnson. And I really respect her for having the courage to step out and speak on it. And for those people who criticize people for writing posts or sharing lives of their personal experience, that says a lot about the individuals that they are surrounded by. I would rather somebody go off on live than to go off internally, because internally causes people to do things like commit suicide or start using drugs or do things that will directly damage them physically. And I would rather somebody go off because then you can hear what's going on, you can see what's going on, and people can step in and kind of help her. And some of her remarks was, people were sending out prayers to her, and she didn't want people to pray for her. I think it was just about her getting it off her chest. And then we saw clips after, not specifically that day, but after the fact, where I believe she's at a photo shoot, and she looked completely better, she sounded completely better, and I think her just getting all of that out that way kind of spoke to where she was. And we have a lot of people that are in a faith-based, or even if you're talking about just the business community or the black community, we have a lot of people who think they're better than, and often shun people for going through real life things that them themselves are currently going through or have gone through before, and most certainly will be going through. We all go through rocky roads. I don't care how much money you have, I don't care what you own, what you don't own, who you are. I believe that it really speaks a lot to who we are. I really it just spoke to me in a different way, and I just heard the conversation differently last night. So shout out to Love Dawn and her crew, Lasha, Bishop Harris, Overseer Pendleton, for kind of having that conversation and being in a space where we were dialoguing and having some communications openly and honestly. So it really, you good? I said you good.
Yes, you can make that.
I can't. That's Marnie. He comes in now once or twice a week now. One day he'll do a show again. But yeah, so that conversation kind of took me in a different space, and I'm gonna move over a little bit to just the art world. And I'm in a city, Baltimore City, and our art community is really separate in terms of us being disjointed and disconnected. And it's really white art versus black art. It depends on what school you go to. So if you went to Coppin or Morgan or Micah or Johns Hopkins, or Loyola or Towson, depending on where you went. And a lot of people of color are choosing to go to these predominantly white institutions to learn or to expose their art or to market their art to, or do things the way white artists would do it, because the way black artists do it doesn't seem, and it does not seem profitable, it doesn't seem marketable, it doesn't seem professional enough. Or a lot of artists in communities like this feel like my work isn't as good as yours because I'm a black artist, because I'm not from where you're from. If you have any opinions on this, definitely give us a call. 410-702-5657. Give me a call and let me know how you feel. Or if you had some experience with being church hurt, or you have something to say about this diversity issue that we have within our culture, within our art, within business in general. And the meeting that I just came from, it kind of, it made me think of it made me look at where we are with this, and I want to be honest and say it hurt my feelings, but I can't really say that. I can't really say that it hurt my feelings. But the fact that at this point in my artistry, I'm still having to be faced with whether or not me as a black person who is really talented, if I may say so myself, and it's not an arrogant thing, I just know how hard I work, and I know how creative I am, and I've seen the results of my work. It's not just a plan or a dream that I have. I actually work hard every day to showcase my art. But the fact that because I'm a black artist, my work isn't as important, or it doesn't seem as intelligent, or as good as, or as professional as somebody. And I've went to these predominantly white and been around a lot of them and watched them create, and I see a lot of their work is bullshit. But because they have a MICA on their diploma, or they have a certain organization that's backed them, then their work looks a little bit more professional. And I'm not opposed to partnering with individuals or having certain organizations speak for me, but I clearly, you know, and I've been working alongside awesome individual. Her name is Nancy Proctor for the last couple months, and I've watched how her saying my name gives my name more weight than my name by itself, and that pisses me off because many of these individuals know me, they've worked with me, they've been around me, they've seen my work, but it takes another white person to say my name for them to have any value to them. And then because I haven't included them in on what I'm doing, my work is then, okay, so she said it makes sense, I can speak to you now. But beyond that, I don't, you know, I heard many of them speak to her about not coming to my show that was in an institution that they work in. And it does not surprise me, nor does it hurt my feelings, but it does say a lot about where we are with diversity, and I'm coming from the perspective of just being an artist, and I can be honest and say it used to hurt my feelings, because I came from a perspective of I grew up and doing work with predominantly white artists, and I saw, you know, how disjointed it was and how one-sided it was. For me to then pick the blackest school in Baltimore City to go to, Coppin State University, shout out Eagles, but to see how my own people react to diversity and how we suppress ourselves to the point where we don't look at anything that won't make us money, and not realizing it takes work to get money, and you can't have money without work, and any more money that you get without work will quickly leave you. But we haven't figured that out yet, and we'll always have the gaps in success, and the gaps in pay scales, and the gaps in resources until we learn how to, one, be proud of who we are. I don't have a problem with say I work with and work for a black radio station. I am a black artist. My work represents black culture. That's not to say that my work can't be received or appreciated by people who aren't black, and even black people who don't feel as though they should call themselves black artists. If I had $1 for every artist that I've heard say I'm not a black artist, I'm just an artist. No, you a black artist. Because to denote your culture and what your culture brung to your work, it pisses me off. You know, I know actors who don't like doing plays that speak to black culture. They only like doing Shakespeare. They only like, but not realizing that there was a black person who helped him write those plays. You know, and it really like, I can. It's one of the reasons that I spoke up for Monique so hard, because it really, I understood what she was going through. You know, her method of doing it may have not been the best way to handle it, but something was affecting her, and people, instead of listening, and whether they agreed or not, but just listening and hearing her out, they decided to make jokes. And people often do that. You're sensitive, you're difficult, you're crazy if you speak out against things that are happening to you. If you speak out against it, just shut up, just do better. Go get your money. So we're going to take another quick break. We'll be back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere.
It's the jump off. Welcome to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a favorite song calling to the show. Is we ready? Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. You're now tuned to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics calling ask what you wanna know. 855 Cheryl, want a number you could dial. Busy, better bring it back. Request your favorite track. She playing all new music, the groove too. Indie artists, mainstream, whatever consumes you. Topic of discussion, voice opinions, no bluffing. Cheryl, keep it real, she don't sugarcoat nothing. Download the app on your phone or your podcast. Never miss a show. Take Cheryl on the go. Ain't no other stations hanging with my girl toe to toe. Email us, CherylUnderwood.com. Smart, funny, and my girl changing the game. Ain't no other stations measure up the same. Turn it up, y'all. Your girl at it again. It's a jump off. Welcome to the Cheryl Underwood Show. Hot topics. We discussing anything. It's a go. We going live now. Got a favorite song calling to the show. Is we ready? Yeah. 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
That's what I'm talking about. Cheryl Underwood Radio in effect.
Yeah.
You know, I'm well, okay. If I'm about to say something that might need to be beeped out, Vic Frost. Ready? On behalf of Shayna and Courtney Black's birthday week, I'm gonna allow Courtney Black back with the facts to celebrate by opening my eBay.
Oh, you're so sweet. Oh my God.
See the how I do? It's the man in me. It's the man in me. I didn't get y'all nothing.
Right.
So
but I'm gonna let y'all open my eBay.
The greatest, man. Courtney, you need my box cut?
There you go, Kyle Irving.
I got one, Harry.
But in real life, it is y'all birthday week. We got to find something to do. I'll tell you what, we won't be celebrating physically until we all can get together, because we do celebrate. Because there was a question about the company field trip, and are we going on a company field trip this year? It's either going to be a classic, a Bayou Classic, or a classic game. I might be going to Elizabeth City.
E-Town?
Yes, I might be going there for their homecoming, so that might be part of the company field trip. But then the original company field trip, Vic Frost, the Iceman coming.
Oh yeah.
Was a location in Atlanta that we love so much because they're delicious.
Looking forward to that.
Delicious.
The broccoli?
Yeah.
Broccoli's off the chain.
So maybe we got to make that. Maybe we'll save up for that. What's that, Kyle Irby, our man rights activist?
Be a man at all times.
There you go.
Get you some broccoli.
There you go. Got to
I still think we should have a company field trip with the homie.
Who is that?
The big homie.
Hold on. Harry Southern, our favorite country lawyer. Who is the homie? Do you know who the homie is?
Your friend that would be nice to the crush. I'm just gonna say the crush.
No.
He said no,
because Jim Kelly, owner and proprietor of the sports bar. I think the only way that could happen, you have to find who he trusts, that he will understand, and the person that I know he trusts don't really like the location that we use for the company field trip. But if I could get this person to trust me enough to go, okay, you picked a spot, we'll be there. But then Jim Kelly, owner and proprietor of the sports bar, where men come to talk and women come to eavesdrop. When we come back, would the person feel like I just took over your spot because I'm a macaroni? That's right. We're going to get started with Cheryl Underwood Radio. I don't know if we're going to talk about it. We're going to argue about it through the break, because Harry Sutherland got a good report, 6 seconds from the hill, news you can use, word on the street. So we're going to figure out what we are going to talk about when we come back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio. And now it's time for Cheryl Underwood Radio.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up, and welcome to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. My lisp is getting more pronounced, and that is strange. But We're back here. I'm Nate, your host. If you want to be featured on the show, definitely hit me up. The Artist Exchange Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com, or you can send us a message on one of our social media platforms. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at The Artist Exchange Radio Show. We also are, we have a group on Facebook called The Artist Exchange. If you look for the banner, you'll see the Artist Exchange logo. And you're able to post your upcoming events, all your information, all your art-related projects. This is not a group to sell, you know, your creams or your lotions. It's not necessarily for entrepreneurs. It's just for artists. So post your work, you know, network with other people. There are over 4,500 people in a group from around the world. So you're able to locate, have conversations with and network with individuals from all areas of the arts. I've curated that a group of people to kind of be a cross section of artists, and we're constantly adding new people every day, and that's kind of where we pull a lot of our guests from also. So I wanted to start the list. Our guest is running late, I guess, but I wanted to start the conversation with this segment with it's 101 ways to live your life to the fullest. And I have a lot of artists and individuals, friends and such, that are kind of in a limbo space, especially with a lot of my artist friends, and following a dream. It's been very hard because money doesn't always come, and it's not a life in it, and people are losing hope in pursuing it because the support system isn't necessarily there. But a lot of the inner support, a lot of the support rather, has to come from an inner place. Whether you have 5 people in your audience or 5 million people, you have to treat that audience as if they're the best thing. And you have to mean it, and have to come from a genuine place. Your dreams will not always manifest itself in society's outlook on what success is. Often your success comes in being able to continue to do it. Or success comes in a form of, it often comes in the form of a paycheck. That's nice. I love paying my bills on time and having money in the bank. But your success often comes in opportunities surrounding that. And I've had individuals who I've been connected with recently and just over time who don't see the success in, say, the Artist Exchange, but has not seen the amount of work that I've gotten as a result of it. So they lack the courage and the tenacity to kind of push their dreams, so they have to latch on to other people's dreams. And when that dream doesn't seem like it's floating, then they jump ship. And I can't wait to a space where people can see the work that I've put in and it manifests itself. That'll be a great place for me, but I don't want to give up. And I'm telling people, get out of that comfort zone. Do things that not only scare you, but shake your foundation. You know, playing it safe works, and it's great. You can retire on playing it safe. But when you look back over your life, wouldn't you rather know that you lived life and experienced life and went after those things that you really wanted to do versus just being able to say you paid your bills on time to somebody else so that they and their family could live their life to the fullest? I know that's what I'm after, and I know that's a scary thing to live on a day-to-day basis. But about 8 years ago, I decided to live my life full-time for the things in life that I wanted to be, and the people that I wanted to support, and the things that I wanted to do, and live that on a full-time basis. So when I get up in the morning to when I drift off at night, and all throughout the day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days out of the year, I am living for me. And I've learned how to have that ounce of selfishness in the pursuits of my goals, because often people will distract you, and you'll allow people to distract you because because it's easier. That's comfortable for me to be distracted and not grind and do the work that I do. So often people ask me, why do I do certain things? Why do I give so much of my attention to certain things where I could be making money over here? Because those things aren't what I want to do. I went to school initially to become an RN, a RA, and then a teacher, and those things are not things that I wanted to do, but I was doing them because they needed more black male RAs. They needed more RNs, I'm sorry. They needed more black men in the classroom, but I'm not the black man that want to do that. So I'm not going to do something because a market opened up. Because look at how many teachers that they're laying off right now. So I would have been probably one of those teachers that they laid off because my heart wasn't in it. My heart isn't in standing in the classroom for 9 hours a day teaching history or geometry. That's not where my heart is, and I'm not going to follow a paycheck because it's there. Because I have several of my friends now that we are 30 and over that are now dropping it all and going for broke and pursuing a dream. I just had a friend who uprooted himself out of the blue and moved to Florida to follow and pursue his dreams. And it happens. You know, it definitely happens, and I have a number of artists that have done that. I do also have a number of friends who choose to just play it safe, and that's okay, because a lot of them have given circumstances, like children, like a home to support, and I get that. But just know you can still pursue your dreams. It's just gonna take a little bit of work, and people don't want to work that hard. But these are 101 ways to live your life to the fullest. Personal excellence. It has to start there. We can't build our platforms on what other people expect from us. So our last couple shows that we did, we left off at number 11. Discover your life purpose is the next one that we'll talk about, and we'll kind of get on to that topic when we come back from the next break. So it's discover your life purpose. Set the mission statement for your life, one that will drive you to live your life to the fullest. Read How to Find Your Life Purpose. It's a series. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't go anywhere.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, super producer. Hey, Jada Pinkett said did she say she was addicted to sex, or because she got this red table,
the red table,
and what they got about 3 million people watching and viewing us.
It's almost like a podcast.
Yeah. It's a visual podcast. Is that what it is?
Very close.
So let me ask y'all a question. Would you say that podcasts are different from apps?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
So podcast is the new trend now.
Yes.
Yeah, apps are kind of like the new websites, but on your phone.
Exactly.
Really?
That's what it is.
So that's really what it should be?
Yeah.
That's what
I'm glad y'all said that.
And I understand now.
Okay, me too, Eric.
That's
what y'all talking about. Okay.
That's the best
so everything for you, it should be your website.
Yeah.
But it's a portable website.
Right.
Yes.
For your phone.
Because we're always on our phone.
Basically, people could get, if they click on Cheryl's face, you can get,
that didn't sound good. That still doesn't sound better when you said it twice.
No, don't do that.
What? I know he's supposed to be talking about Jada Pinkett.
Twice don't make it nice.
No. Be like, you did that on purpose.
They can get everything Cheryl by the click of that.
Well, really?
That didn't sound better either.
Everything. Tour dates.
Okay.
Podcasts.
Products.
So I should just take the website I have now and put it on the app.
You should.
Yeah, you'll keep it, and then they'll work together.
Okay. And that's easier and don't cost me no more money, right?
I don't know about that
so.
now.
Yeah.
Talk to Harry.
Well, I guess the reason I'm asking is because Jada has this talk show, Red Table. Yeah. She interviewed Tiffany Haddish on there. She's had her own children on there. Her mom.
Her sister wife on there.
Will's ex-wife.
Yeah, Cherie. Is that it? Cherie. Yeah, that's the way he said it, Jim. Jim, we figured it out. Right. So Jada says, is she addicted to stimulation, Courtney, or is she addicted to the sex itself.
She said she has an addictive personality.
Yes,
because her mother did. Her mother was allegedly addicted to, and I don't think it's because, but her mother was addicted to heroin.
Yeah,
and she had talked about the fact that her mother would just nod off or be late for stuff, and she thought it would first that ain't just sleepiness,
right?
That's a drug addiction, right? But for me, I will tell you this: since this whole show started with me talking about my feelings, it is one of the reasons why I don't smoke tree. Because my dad always said, you drink liquor all day long. We from Arkansas. You drink liquor all day long, and you got to put it down if you can't go to work, can't go to church, can't function in life. But what you can't do is do any kind of drug, including marijuana. No marijuana. So one time I was cleaning out my mom's dressers. You know, you do the laundry, you put the clothes in there. You know, so I saw this pound back when a pound was a pound. Harry Sutherland, no seed, no stem.
A real pound. Okay,
that's right. The only thing I thought was, my daddy said, no marijuana.
It worked.
And I flushed it down the toilet.
A pound?
A pound?
Oh.
I was shaking it down in the toilet like a dragnet in Hawaii. Dragnet. Then I just flushed it down there.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. If you look over to my right, your left, that's Marnie. He's running out. He's running out of the office right now. But shout out to everybody that continue to support. He was bored, so he made a braid out of the window saying things. So you have to come to the station and look at this phenomenal view. Not out of that window, it's crazy. But we have a phenomenal view of Calvert Street. We're located right between the two courthouses downtown at the harbor at Calvert and Lexington Street. A phenomenal view. So definitely come on down, enjoy this view with us. Again, if you want to be featured on the show, it's the Artist Exchange Radio Show at gmail.com. Or if you want to let us help you promote and market your upcoming events, your business, so on and so forth. I've gotten into the social media gang, if you will. But before we went to break, we left off with Discover Your Life Purpose. So one of the things that I do a lot in being an artist, I'm learning to do it more as a business owner, but as an artist in general, I write out goals for myself and a mission statement. And this one I'll go back over. Discover your life purpose. Set the mission statement for your life. That can change. It evolves as you evolve, because you conquer things, you fail at things, you got to redo things, you eliminate things, depending on where you are in life. So set the mission statement for your life, one that will drive you to live your life to the fullest. Read How to Find Your Life Purpose. It's a nice book, but it kind of discusses many different aspects of being a business owner and just being an individual going after your dreams in general. Nice book. But so one of the things that I do is I write a lot of lists, things that I want to do. And what I started doing once I got the show was I'll write out an actual mission statement. Now, over the 5 years, it's going to be 5 years this coming August. I wrote out an actual mission statement, and the mission statement is no more than a paragraph, and it could be just a sentence. This is something that I want to do. Traveling, doing the show outside the station, connecting with more artists, developing and cultivating more relationships is kind of over the last 5 years what I wanted to do more. And that's how I actually found my way into doing radio. I wanted to connect with people on a more constructive, purposeful, networking way. And not just, hey, we did a show together, now the show is over. Hey, we met each other at a vending event, okay, and that's it. After that is over. Because I have a hermit type of spirit on the inside where I'm comfortable laying in my comfortable bed in my bedroom, feeling the breeze, creating art on my bed. I live for that. That is comfortable to me. I'm most comfortable either in my bedroom, now in this space, sitting behind the desk, or at rehearsal. Those 3 places are now my comfort zone, and I wanted to really get myself out of that habit. And I added this in the last 5 years because this is what I've been doing. But I want to get outside, so I do more interviews now outside the show. I figure find ways, whatever I'm doing, to connect this job right here as a radio personality to doing interviews in different spaces. I just did that with Blueprints. I do it down at the Peel Center with the art show. I'll be starting a series based on their Be Here stories. And I find ways to do what I do in another space with different people. So find a way to kind of map out your goals in just a few sentences. I wouldn't do more than 4. 4 is pushing it because it can sometimes go all over the place, but try to connect those things. In doing that, figure out the things that you really like to do and then connect them. Make those bridges between it. But I'm going to go on to number 12. Live in alignment with your purpose. So if you want to be an actor, you should be auditioning. You should be reading plays. You should be watching, different types of formats where acting is a part of it. You should be meeting other actors, meeting other directors, meeting other writers, finding spaces where your work can be done, figuring out how you can build your own project, learning the different aspects of what it is that you do. That's one of the most important lessons that I could ever teach somebody. Something that I learned, not that I ever wanted to be a stage manager or a makeup artist or costumer, but I learned all those things. I learned how to build a set. I learned how to do lighting and such. But I learned those things because now I have a job, when I don't get the job that I want. I have other skill sets that, like I said, can make the in-between times more profitable. And then when I'm down, now I've directed more, so now I know what to look for. I know how to, adjust lighting and ask the lighting or the sound person to adjust things. I know what to look for in costumes and actors and so on and so forth. But I took the time to learn those things. So walk in alignment. What can you start doing immediately that will let you live 100% in alignment with your purpose? How can you live true to your purpose within every situation you are in every second of the day? I'll pinpoint a couple people here that I do this station with. The owner, one. So the owner actually has a regular job, like his main money maker job. And what he does now is he takes 2 days out of the week and he actually works from the station, opposed to being at his job 5 days a week. And that allows him to be at his station and do both jobs simultaneously, or pick and choose, where he's not just coming here after he gets off. Another person is Naomi from the Be Inspired radio show. She just made a big leap this last March, and she actually quit her full-time job and went directly into marketing and branding in her radio show and her brand of Be Inspired. And you have to figure out how to live off of what you love to do and stop making other people wealthy and rich and giving them money to be able to live while they're giving you change back. Again, so that's living in alignment with your purpose. Figure out how to do things within your purpose and stop doing things that are just getting you a paycheck every 2 weeks. 13, set your life commandments. Define your personal commandments to live your best life. What edges and principles do you want to follow in your life? Adages and principles do you want to live to? I'll say that again. Define the personal commandments to live your best life. What adages and principles do you want to follow in your life? So, in becoming an entrepreneur, whether you're an artist or you do marketing or you are a tax consultant or you own a station, whatever those things are, you have to then live by certain things. Meaning, I'm going to, and that could be mind, body, and spirit. So I'm going to eat a certain way, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this amount of non-purpose driven work every day or this many times out of the week so I can save up this. I'm gonna save these things up. I will go out more and network. What are the things that you have to do to get to where you are? And sometimes that requires sacrifice. So those commandments often, I don't want to say they restrict you, but they contain you in a way that helps you to get further, whether it's saving more money. So I'm not going to eat out as much. I'm going to cook more of my meals, which helps my health as well as my pockets. I'm going to go out to more networking events. I'm going to find more work within my field that I can work instead of working these things that are outside my purpose that take away from the time that I have. So setting those commandments and defining the things that you have to do to get to where you are. Number 14, discover your values. This is a very important one, and we often overlook what our value is, because especially when you're coming from a student perspective, because everything is about work. And it sounds easy. My value, I want to get paid. Well, no, you have to understand, one, just like if you looking for a regular job, what are people getting paid right now? What jobs pay this? So when you become an entrepreneur, you have to set your values. Stop giving discounts. Make sure you include your work hours. Make sure what you're doing equates to what you're asking for. If you're asking for $50 an hour, trust and believe you should be doing $50 an hour work, and not I'm going to do the least for the most, because eventually you won't be asked to come back. And I've been through that as myself. You do the least and expect the most out of it. And setting your values and discovering your values. Values are the essence of what makes you, you. And sometimes the internal checklist that you have to go through is kind of defining who you want to be, what makes you you, what are those attributes that are your best qualities, and then market those things. And then discovering your value beyond that is how much you want to get paid for things, and just being that transparent and that basic with it. And not just, I want to get paid $100 and you haven't done any prep work, you have nothing to show people, you have no resume, no headshot, no web page, no anything, no portfolio to be able to show people this is what I deserve. It's because that's what you want, that's what you ask for, and you wonder why people aren't really giving you what you ask for, because you're setting yourself up. People will always try to underbid you and devalue you, but you have to set that for yourself before you go outside and ask for anything and require anything. Number 15, hold yourself to the highest conduct. Every one of us have our own set of ethics and principles. Live true to them every day. Also live in full alignment with your purpose, commandments, and values. That's what we just did in 12, 13, and 14. We discussed those things. So if you say you will be somewhere, be there. If you have a certain time that you have to be there and you know you need to do X, Y, Z in preparing once you get there, then you need to be there at this time, not on the time. You need to be there before that. Giving your best, putting your best foot forward is what you have to do. Like, it's a requirement. If you want to get anything out of what you do, and often we're in situations where we want a paycheck, but nobody wants to do the work that's required for the 2 weeks to get to that 14th day where you get paid. Nobody wants to get to that day. Nobody wants to go through that journey. We just want to go right to payday. and I want to get paid more money. I want, but nobody wants to put in the work. But we're willing to go work for somebody else's dream and go get a regular job to get a paycheck, just so we can avoid doing the work that's necessary to build our own personal wealth and our own personal prosperity and success. We won't do the things that's necessary for us to achieve, but we'll go out and do the work that's required for somebody else to achieve. I think we need to really kind of look at how that works and what that is. I'm gonna go to the next one. So the next one is 16. Stop putting life on hold. Are you putting any parts of your life on hold? What is the one area of your life you have been putting off, avoiding, or denying? Uncover that and start working on it. Often, I remember in my 20s, I often had to be in groups. I was in a theater group. I was doing work at my college. Everything that I did was about what the group wanted. And it was in pursuit of my goals. But at the end of my 20s, I had the director of a theater group that I was in tell me, now I knew it was bullshit though. She told me she didn't know that I wanted to be an actor. I had been in this theater group for 10 years. And that alone should have said I wanted to be an actor. But because I wasn't pursuing my own personal pursuits, and everything that she saw me do in that group and outside of that group was about what other people had put in front of me, I wasn't really living up. So I couldn't argue with her, even though I knew it was bullshit. I couldn't really argue with her in terms of me not pursuing my own personal pursuits. What are you doing? Not what is this group that you're in doing, that you're a part of, but what are you initiating? So everything after that point, especially in the last 5 years, is about things that I initiated and making sure my name is in the program and making sure my goals are being met. You know, I did shows with that group and was left out of the program. That will never happen to me ever again. And leaving myself out of the planning process. So the next one is, and we'll come back in our last segment and talk about it, is create your life handbook. Your life handbook is your personal manual to live your best life, containing your mission statement, values, goals, personal strengths, blind spots, action plan. Start off with a few basic pages and then build on it. We'll be right back here on the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BigExposedRadio.com.
And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood Radio.
Thank you, Super Producer. It's time for our HBCU shout out. And this shout out is dedicated to all the great athletes that came out of HBCUs. Let me get it started with Michael Strahan. Went where, Kyle Irby?
Texas Southern University.
Yeah, and now he's on Good Morning America. Go ahead, Michael Strahan. All right, Harry Sutherland, who you got?
I got Steve McNair from Acorn.
Alcorn State.
It's all good.
Close enough. We told you he was country as corn. Mispronounced Alcorn State. Steve McNair, go ahead now. Yeah. All right, Jim Kelly, who you got?
Mississippi Valley State University.
Yeah.
Where the great Jerry Rice and Deacon Jones went.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I remember when Deacon Jones guest starred on the Brady Bunch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. When they had the other family living next door.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Courtney Black back with the facts. Who you got?
I got Grambling State, Doug Williams, quarterback.
Yeah. Wasn't he one of the first black quarterback to win
the Super Bowl?
That's what I'm talking about.
We don't want to talk about that.
That's what I'm talking about. Hey, shout out to Mike Washington. Because when he with Washington when he did it?
Yes.
Yeah, he with Washington when he did it. All right, Kyle Irby, bring us home. What you got? Wait, did I do Vic?
Nope.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vic Frost. What you got, Vic Frost?
Got to shout out Walter Sweetness. Straight out of Jackson State.
Yeah, Jackson, Mississippi.
Jackson, Mississippi, that's
and
right.
let me tell you why that's important. Because Walter Payton was a dancer on Soul Train. All right, Kyle Irving, bring us home.
Althea Gibson, Florida A&M.
That's what I'm talking. Yeah. That's right. Great athletes come out of HBCUs, and that's why at PACRAT Foundation for Education, we have an HBCU NPHC Sports Initiative.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, what's up? So, welcome back to the Artist Exchange Radio Show. So, the last one we left off was create your life handbook. And that's all the things. So, all your plans, all your goals, all your strategies, all your wants, all your needs. 2 different things. And let's start making those lists of things. And kind of taking that information that you put in there. And then, on the next clean sheet, start making a plan and a strategy and a roadmap to getting to where you want. What do you want? Is there a certain amount in your bank account that you want to have? You know, what are the things that you need to do to kind of save it? What things that you want to initiate? What programs, what businesses, what events, so on and so forth do you want to do? What things do you want to try? You know, start listing your strong suits. What are you great at? What aren't you great at? What are those things that you need help with? And then you can start outsourcing those things and then learning those things or studying those things. Don't just find somebody who knows how to do it. Learn how to do it yourself. And then if you need help with it, if you can't do it yourself, then you can hire somebody. So you know when you're getting something bad, you know when you're getting something good. And if that person, you can't find a person, you can do it until you find the person. So the next one is design your ideal life. What is your ideal life? Design it. Firstly, assess your life via the life wheel. Then ask yourself what it takes to live a 10-10 life. What is the life that you will make? What is the life that will make you shout for joy? There are no limits in life, only those you set for yourself. So I'm gonna skip this one because next week we're gonna go over the 10-10 life. And it's kind of a roadmap to kind of building success. So we're gonna go over that actually on Monday's show. So we're gonna skip down to 19. Set your goals. After you design your ideal life, set your 5-year, 3-year, 1-year goals. The more specific they are, the better. This helped me because I'm a list maker. So I'm most comfortable when I have a list. And normally on that list is everything that I want to do. That's how I used to make a list. Everything that I wanted to do, everything that I wanted, everything that I needed. I learned how to itemize and separate the things on that list. So put priorities onto things. These are things in my personal life I want. These are things in my creative life I want. These are things I want for my business. These are immediate things. These are things that I want to plan out over the year. And it's helped me recently in the last year to kind of not bite off more than I can chew. Now, has that helped me not to bite off more than I can chew? Nope. I still do that. But within doing that, I now have a better plan and a better strategy. This last event kind of took me out in terms of that because I often forget to apply those things during the journey. I do it before, often after. I think about it sometime in the middle, but actually applying that type of organization to the overall process, throughout the process, would make the journey a lot easier. It's been hard for me being an entrepreneur because it's hard for me to ask for help. And when I do ask for help, I do things myself and this person gets paid for it. And that pisses me off. It does, because I know how much of the work that I did for them then to send me an invoice for something that they didn't do, or they did a smaller portion than I did. So learning how to write me into the plan and learning how to, the things that I can do for myself, doing for myself. And there's nothing wrong with that. Also asking for help when necessary. You can't do everything yourself. You have to get everything in writing. You have to spell out, these are the things that I need from you. You know, and no longer am I allowing anybody into my dream or into my projects or into my opportunities that aren't willing to work for them from start to finish. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that person saying, well, I don't want to do this. I'm great with that portion of it. But long story short, don't be afraid to really go after the things that you want to do. Don't be afraid to follow your dreams, your goals, your aspirations with drive and energy and hunger. Don't be afraid to do those things and not feel like you have something. Don't worry about what people think. Lastly, professionalism is a must. If you say you're gonna be somewhere, be somewhere. And that's a shot to the guests that were supposed to be here today. And it's not anything personal, but when you're putting yourself out there in terms of a business, make sure you keep your word. Like, that's it. If you can't do something, I can't do it. Communicate. Communication will get you so much further than talent will. That's why a lot of the people that we say are not talented are winning in life. That's why a Kardashian with no talent, other than a mother who knows how to make moves, is now the youngest person on the soon-to-be billionaires list. Because communication, she knows how to get the job done. She knows how to show up on time. She knows how to get to where she got to get to. She knows how to play the game. And it's a game to some people, but when it's your money on the line, your time, your energy, your profits on the line, you know how to get things done. So we're gonna continue this conversation on Monday. Don't forget, the Artist Exchange Radio Show comes on every Monday and Friday, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. live only on BeExposedRadio.com. Don't forget, also send in your music, your MP3s. If you go to the website www.BeExposedRadio.com, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see a list of music. So we chart the music every week, so we see how many hits you get, and you fall in that top 5 range. So send in your music, MP3 formats only, to info@BeExposedRadio.com. Put in the subject line, please play my music, and make sure you send information on who you are so we can reach out to you for a possible interview as well. So this has been Nate, your host of the Artist Exchange Radio Show, only on BeExposedRadio.com. Have a nice weekend. Enjoy yourself.
It's the weekly roundup. Here's what happened this week on Cheryl Underwood Radio. And we're back with more Cheryl Underwood.